Money Matters on Fosse 107 with Hinckley and Rugby Building Society.
Very good morning to Colin from Hinckley and Rugby Building Society. It's Money Matters once again, Colin. And this morning we are going to be talking a little bit about cryptocurrencies because I don't know what they're about really. Tell me a little bit about them and what they are, and are they too good to be true?
So Mark, there's two different kinds of cryptocurrencies. There is one which is issued by the central bank of that country. And at the moment, I think that is only China and perhaps India as well. The Bank of England last week announced that it is investigating whether to issue its own cryptocurrency, which is really it's a digital way of the Bank of England issuing currency. Right. So that way is regulated. It is linked to, in our case, sterling, and is something that you won't make a lot of money out of.
Yeah.
Where you've probably heard the conversation is about the unregulated cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is the one that gets used very regularly. It's the most commonly known cryptocurrency. And if you think about it, just like an asset or investing in something, you could invest in art, you could invest in antiques, you could invest in shares, and when you do that, you know that the value could increase, and you hope it will, or it could decrease. Now, being the fact that it's not a physical object, you can't then go to your local antique dealer and say, how much is this worth? So the Bitcoin market each day will rise and fall in the way that the stock market does. I think with any investment that's got risk attached to it, which obviously an unregulated cryptocurrency does have risk attached to it, you've got to be prepared to lose that money.
But do you think the fact that over the past, 10 or 15 years, we've had such low interest rates that people see these opportunities to get a bit of recognition for investing in them? Do you think that?
Absolutely, and it's also one of the reasons, Mark, that the property market remains strong, because if you've got some spare money, you put it into a bank or building society account at the moment, it will be safe. There's a guarantee scheme up to £85,000. You will not lose your money, but the interest rate will be low. Whereas if you put it into riskier investments, you could make a good return. So that will drive people into thinking about this. But in my mind, you've got to be prepared to lose that money. You've got to be prepared that it can drop, and it can drop sharply.
So that brings me nicely on to, because a lot of people have used savings to invest in property, buy to let and that sort of stuff. Do you ever see that changing? How do you see that working?
It's been a time where the property market has boomed over the last number of months. The difficulty therefore is house prices are going up, but the average salary is not going up, and therefore the difference between the two is getting out of kilter.
Yeah.
Now that's a problem for first-time buyers.
We talked a little bit just then about how much we can borrow. So if I was a first-time buyer, what percentage of my salary can I borrow? Or it's joint, presumably, is it?
Typically, it's a multiple of your salary. So if you and your wife were buying, you would add the salaries together. And a rule of thumb, 4.5 times.
Right.
4.5 times that joint salary. So each lender will work with a customer to say, what's your income, what's your outgoings, and determine what's affordable. But rule of thumb, 4.5 times.
Right. And the most important thing that you as a lender look towards is people having a bit of discipline to save.
Well, I think it's a great sign. You know, if for example, somebody's been renting and they decide, right, it's time, I want to own my own house. You've got that track record of rent paid over months and years. And if they've never missed a beat on that, you think, well, this is a reliable, conscientious customer, and they're going to do exactly the same with their mortgage. I don't turn people away who don't have that savings record, but it is a really good sign, and it's great for them because it's a habit, and that habit they can continue.
Well, thanks for your time, Colin. Really appreciate it. I want to talk to you in another edition of Money Matters about credit card debt, because it's something that I personally am an expert on. So thank you very much, mate, and we'll see you very soon.
Thank you, Mark. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Fosse 107.